Well, hey everyone, this is Jonathan from Mr. Pearson Talks Books. I'm an elementary school teacher who loves to connect my students with great books, and I want to help teachers and parents do the same thing. And today, I want to talk to you about this book right here. This is called The Absence of Sparrows by Kurt Kirschmeyer. Now, this book was written, I believe, a few years ago in 2020, and it's a story about a boy named Ben and his family who are going about their lives. Everything's normal. Things are just typical day to day type stuff. When suddenly somebody in town just turns to glass, they just suddenly turn to solid glass. And they go home. They're really freaked out because obviously people are turning to glass and turn on the news only to find out that this is happening all over the world. And now Ben and his family have to come to grips with what to do when there is a plague that is taking place. And so there starts to be food shortages and there's fuel shortages, and nobody really knows who is going to turn to glass or when it does. And tragically, the glass plague starts to hit closer and closer to home when Ben's uncle turns to glass. And then unfortunately, some of those people who are turned to glass shatter, they break and explode. There's glass pieces everywhere. So, what ends up happening is people start to take sides on what to do in regards to the glass plague. There is this mysterious voice on the radio that Ben's brother is listening to, who comes up with this plan that the way to move past the glass plague is for everybody to shatter those people who have turned to glass. The problem is once you shatter them, there's no going back. And there have even been some people who have been able to revert back from glass into human. And so Ben is on the side where he doesn't want this to happen. And his brother is on the side that wants to shatter them. And the really difficult part is when a family member turns to glass, and what are they going to do to solve this problem? Now, I found this book in my school library. I have not been able to find it at the public library or on Libby. So this might be a little bit of a difficult find. Um, I would recommend that you read it. Now, I do want to tell you there is a blurb on the back that says that this is Stephen King level horror. And after I read that, I could not get that thought out of my head because as you're reading this book, there is this sense of dread and there is this tension that just doesn't let up throughout the whole book. Now, I teach third grade, and I was talking about this book with some of my third graders. And I got to tell you, I'm not sure that my third grade students would be ready to read something like this. This is more, and I've had this conversation with our librarian. This is probably a late fifth grade, even middle school level book. Again, when I read that clip that said this is Stephen King level horror, having read some Stephen King, and I do not recommend those for elementary students, but having read some Stephen King books, I totally get that vibe. There, like I said, there is just this sense of dread and there is this tension wondering how is this going to resolve and what is the outcome going to be. It is a wonderful book. It is beautifully written. It is very dark. It is very heavy. So if you're in the mood for something like that, I would definitely pick up The Absence of Sparrows. But if you're looking for something that's lighthearted and maybe a beach read, this is not that book. Okay. I would give this probably 3.5 out of, or 3.5 or 4 stars out of 5. And again, I don't think I would necessarily recommend this for elementary students. Maybe some late fifth grade students, possibly even middle school students, students who are ready for a more mature read. So, this again is The Absence of Sparrows. It is by Kurt Kirschmeyer. This is the first book that he has written. Have you read it? And if so, what do you think of it? What do you think of the ending? Don't want to spoil anything, but uh, after I read the ending, I kind of had to sit down for a minute because did not see that coming. But again, The Absence of Sparrows. Have you read it? And what did you think? If not, I certainly hope you'll take the time to do so. Now, again, My name is Jonathan from Mr. Pearson Talks Books, and we'll see you next time.